What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, we have talked a lot about the first preseason game of our Detroit Lions, and yesterday we talked a little bit more in depth about this offense, what they did well, how efficient they were, and how good Jared Goff manned this offense, and how well he was manning the team, driving down the field, being the leader, and being an efficient, quality quarterback. But today I want to go in depth with Jared Goff's performance in particular, because yes, the offense as a whole played very well, but I thought Jared Goff, in the situation he was put into in his Detroit Lions debut, played a very, very good football game. I think played a very underrated football game where a lot of Lions fans don't realize how good he actually was on the field. So today, I'm going to give Jared Goff a little bit of credit. I'm going to talk about his Week 1 performance versus the Buffalo Bills and talk about what he needs to do to, one, maintain the spot that he is at, and what he needs to do in order for the Detroit Lions to win football games this season. But before we get into it, before we start talking about Jared Goff's Week 1 performance, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day to do so. It is quick, it is free, and it is incredibly easy to do, and you would be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. So if you could do that, take those 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'd be incredibly appreciative for it. But with all of that being said, and without any further ado, let's get into taking a deep dive of Jared Goff's Detroit Lions debut.
So we get Anthony Ryder from South Lyon, Michigan, recently selected as the Lions 2020 Fan of the Year. He has a passion about sports broadcasting.
With the 112th selection in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver, USC. One pride, baby! Yeah!
Now, Jared Goff, although he had a very good game through the air, started the game incredibly shaky. He threw one of the worst passes I've ever seen in the NFL, and it looked like when you were on Madden and you were trying to quick hike and you spammed the A button and it snapped, and then you hit it by accident again and it automatically quick threw it to the tight end and it gets picked off 9 times out of 10. And that's the exact play that they ran for the first play of the game. It looked atrocious. And Jared Goff on the second play handed the ball off, turned around. Jamal Williams was not able to get a whole lot on the day. It is what it is. Jamal Williams did not have his best down the ground, but, did what he needed to do. And then third play, Penei Sewell and Big V combined by losing their respective reps. And at the end of the day, they gave up a sack on Jared Goff, and the first drive was over just like that. However, like I said, I think after taking that first hit, after taking that, after hearing the pads hit once or twice, Jared Goff kind of got into the groove of things and came back out for the second drive of the day, way more poised, way more confident, and seemed way calmer than he was for the first drive. Jared Goff, after that first drive, went 5 for 6, drove his team down the field in an 18-play, 10-minute drive that went 70 yards. Jared Goff threw for 56 of those yards, going 5 for 6 through the air, having a 92.6 quarterback rating, got his team in field goal position, and then tied the game before exiting the field for the day. Now, with that being said, it was a very well executed play. Again, with the exception of that first pass, Jared Goff played almost flawlessly for the remainder of the football game. Now, if you multiply Jared Goff's performance by 4 quarters, obviously he only played one quarter of the football game. In a real game, he'd play 4. Multiply his performance by 4 for the 4 quarters. That is him going 28 of 36, throwing for 224 yards, and likely a touchdown or 2. Although even if he doesn't, even if he just goes for 224 and 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, that is a performance the Detroit Lions can win with. That is a Detroit Lions quarterback. That is a quarterback performance that the Detroit Lions can win with in the NFL. Nobody expected Jared Goff to come into Week 1. Nobody expected him to come into Detroit and throw for 40 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Nobody expected him to be a 50 touchdown guy and a absolute limited 1-digit, 5-6 turnover kind of a team or kind of a player, right? Nobody expects that out of Jared Goff. But they do expect him to be at least a quality starting quarterback. And the performance Jared Goff put on the field last night, or the performance Jared Goff put on the field in Week 1, was a quality quarterback performance. Again, if Jared Goff plays every game with that completion percentage, throwing for just over 200 yards and does not turn the football over and just makes smart, concise throws, makes throws, 15, 20 yards down the field and just runs an efficient, runs a very methodical offense, a very ball control heavy offense, If Jared Goff can replicate his performance from week 1 17 times in the regular season, the Detroit Lions will be in a position to win 17 football games this year. That is the bottom line. Jared Goff played well enough to win each and every football game if he plays the same way he did last night every single week. It's not just that the Detroit Lions were running simple checkdowns. The Detroit Lions, yes, Anthony Lynn did have a couple plays where Jared Goff was simply supposed to check the football down, move the chains, keep the offense on schedule, right? Keep it at a 2 and 6, keep it at 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, keep it at a 3rd and 1. He didn't make Jared Goff do too much, but he did ask Jared Goff to make a couple impressive throws. That one down the boundary to Tyrell Williams for 20 yards was a very impressive throw that split the defenders, and it looked like it may be a cover 2, or just maybe he got behind the one defender, but Jared Goff did fit the ball between 2 really close defenders and made a really good throw on the sideline for Tyrell Williams to get a catchable ball to convert the chains on a play and on a drive that started with a 1st and 20. They converted that 1st and 20 like it was no problem with one play to Tyrell Williams, and they continued to march down the field. Eventually ended up in 3 points and not 7, but again, still a really, really good throw. The second play of that drive, I believe, second or third play of that drive, he made a really tight window throw to Darren Fells, the tight end, the second string tight end. He made a very tight window throw, but made it look easy, made it look effortless. And Jared Goff, had a horrible throw to start the game, but after that horrible throw, he made 2 or 3 top-tier NFL throws. He made 2 or 3 throws that, a lot of quarterbacks can make, but not every quarterback can make those throws. Not every quarterback would have got that ball to Darren Fells. Not every quarterback would have been able to hit that ball between the cornerback and the safety to Tyrell Williams for 20 yards. Not everybody can hit that throw. Now, yes, Mahomes can make that throw. Rodgers can make that throw. Stafford can make that throw. But Jared Goff is one of, maybe not the few, but Jared Goff is one of at least the 15 quarterbacks that can make that throw. If you are not at least an average to above average starter, you don't make that throw in the NFL. You don't attempt that throw in the NFL. And Jared Goff did it made it look very, very easy and very simple for him to make. Anthony Lynn's offense was easy. It was quick. The protection was good, which allowed Jared Goff to get comfortable. And again, after that first drive, Jared Goff looked really comfortable in the offense. And that is without a consistent run game. Jared Goff, when he was on the field, had Jamal Williams rushing for 9 carries, 15 yards, averaging just 1.7 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift will be more efficient when he's on the field. Plus, he did not have his top 3 wide receivers or 3 of his top 4 wide receivers on the field. DeAndre Swift, TJ Hockenson, and Quintez Cephas are going to be 3 of the top 4, if not the top 3 wide receivers on this team this year, and none of the 3 played in week 1. It was him and Tyrell Williams, him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, him and Khalif Raymond on the field, and he made that receiving core work. Him and Darren Fells on the field, he made that work, going 6 of 7 for 56 yards, having a 92.6 quarterback rating by the end of the game. He's going to have those 3 receivers back. He's going to have those receiving threats back. He's going to have that running game back, and the offensive line is only going to continue to grow and get better as the regular season approaches. So if you think about it from Jared Goff's perspective, right, you go into week 1 with a new scheme, a new offensive coordinator, new teammates, new weapons, and you're going into that game without your best 3 weapons. You take a really bad sack early in the football game and throw a really bad pass early in the football game. That right there would have been reason enough for Jared Goff to crumble in week 1 of the preseason and really just fall apart right then and there. But instead of falling apart, Jared Goff came back onto the field, looked calmer, looked cooler under pressure, looked way more collected, and looked like he had everything sorted out way better. He looked like he was a football player. He did not look like he was scared, did not look like he was feeling any pressure. He went out there and ran a methodical offense, drove down the field in 18 plays for 70 yards, took up 10 minutes of the clock, and tied the football game before leaving for the night. You don't do that unless you're a quality quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not saying he's top 10. I'm not even saying that he's top 15 yet. But the performance Jared Goff had last night was quality starting quarterback potential. He is a guy that looked calm under pressure, looked very cool after taking a sack. In every situation and having every reason to crumble in week 1, he did not. He rose to the occasion and he played very quality starting quarterback kind of football. And if Jared Goff plays like this every single night, if Jared Goff can go 5 for 7, if Jared Goff can throw for 60 yards a night or 60 yards a quarter and not turn the football over, just make easy, quick, simple throws down the football field and keep the offense on schedule, run this offense efficiently, methodically, and just have a really heavy ball control style of offense, the Lions can win football games. the Lions can win with a performance like Jared Goff put on a couple nights ago. Jared Goff can win football games playing that way over and over and over again. And for his first time in front of the home fans, for him being his first time playing at Ford Field, or at least first time playing at Ford Field as a member of the Detroit Lions, with all the criticism around him, with all the question marks around him, with a new offensive coordinator, new scheme, new weapons, and missing a lot of the weapons he's built chemistry with over the offseason, I thought Jared Goff played phenomenally. You could not ask of more out of your starting quarterback, and I think it's time we start to look at Jared Goff not only as a placeholder, but as a potential franchise quarterback for the future. Now, with all that being said, that is all for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Jared Goff down in the comments below. I'd be very curious to hear what you guys think. But with all that being said, that is all for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time, and as always, go Lions!